My name is Chris, and I had the privilege of speaking first on this special day. Please fasten your seatbelts as we journey through the wild ride that has been Chris's life today. Who am I kidding? He's a computer programmer. And until he was 25, had the alcohol tolerance of a 2-year-old. So anyway. I would first like to respond to Chris's kind words about the bridesmaids. On behalf of them, thank you very much. I'm pretty certain they are all in agreement that it's been a great day all around and lots of fun. So, for that. Now, when Chris first phoned me up late last year and told me that he was getting married, I had not spoken to him for almost 12 months. However, I was not surprised that he was getting married, but I was surprised at how quickly we started talking about what had been happening and how easy it was to catch up. After just a few minutes, there was even a mention of Everton Football Club, which he is still supporting, and who are, in my opinion, still proud. I personally think it is a sign of a great friendship when a 12,000-mile distance is not a barrier. We were comfortable just having a chat, and if Chris has that same level of comfortableness with Lucy, then it is looking good for the future together. I certainly value Chris's friendship and consider it an honour to be standing here today and speaking in my best Aussie accent. And as I told him last year, I would do everything I could to get back, and I'm just glad that I succeeded. Although, it seems like best men are like buses. You wait several years to be invited, travel around the world, and then find out there are two. Bit of background. I've known Chris for 20 years, since he wandered into Rosemary Muscat with that boarding school or military child kind of look of don't mess with me. However, we hit it off fairly quickly. It's also nice to see Barbara here, and from the look on her face, she's obviously very proud of you. And I guess the other part of the expression is shock. After all, like most mothers, she still sees you as a 2-year-old running around naked. Now, since I left Thetford at 18, apart from the time he hacked into the school computers and left a dancing skeleton on the screen for the maths teacher, and the time he face planted in Austria while skiing with skis crossed and both arms up to shoulders in snow, I have a rather embarrassing shortage of embarrassing stories.
Well, I think you'll find embarrassing stories is where I come in. So, again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As I previously said, my name's Ian. And embarrassing stories is really where I take over. I met Chris around 16 years ago through his cousins. My first impressions of Chris was that he was a shy and quiet lad. However, you get a couple of drinks into him, all the back can change. And generally that's where I come in. At the tender age of 17, sorry, did I say 17? Being a police officer, I meant 18. I, along with others in this room, introduced Chris to two concepts, those being alcohol and nightclubbing. Chris's first tentative steps into this world were taken at Colchester Hippodrome, where he could often be seen on Thursday nights, having had a couple of pints of very weak shandy, hanging on to random passerbys, stalls, tables, posts, to be fair, anything he could hang on to for much needed stability. I think, however, this may have had an adverse effect on Chris's academic career. As he often tells me, he was woken up on Fridays by agitated lecturers at college, having fallen asleep during Friday morning lectures. What followed on from this stage was basically a few years of blatant alcohol abuse, with a random act of stupidity thrown in. But at the same time, Chris was progressing in a successful career in IT. However, I'm sure none of you are actually that interested in his career in IT, so I think I'll focus on drinking. It's a lot more fun. In 1996, we had a big lads holiday to Ibiza. This holiday involved the first of a theme night, which was wigs, where each of the 12 of us who went on holiday wore brightly coloured permed wigs. Chris truly embraced the theme of that holiday, even being photographed asleep wearing his wig. And he was incredibly proud a few months later to announce that his sister Dawn, having gone to uni, had met a new friend who got a photograph of a group of nutters who were on holiday in Ibiza wearing wigs. She swiftly identified one of those nutters as her very own brother. A few years further on from that, Chris and I were going to be on holiday again to Tamaraki. And we'd gone out for a few drinks around town before we went, and Chris came up with a new idea, a new theme. And to be fair, I was quite surprised when he first announced it, because it was schoolgirls. Having had a few beers, I somehow accepted the theme. I mean, how long this cross-dressing fetish had been in his mind, I don't know. If it's still there, I don't know, because you watch out. But I agreed, and what followed was obviously sourcing the outfits. And let me tell you, it's a very interesting thing to go out trying to buy miniskirts when neither of you are female, or indeed small girls. But that was the experience in itself. And despite having been totally convinced by the idea, I said I went along with it, and we got to Tamaraki and we donned the outfits. And what followed can only be described as the most fun-packed drunken night any of you could ever imagine. So, you know, Chris's ideas do come good. Even the reps in Tamaraki said they'd never seen anything quite like it. Which is probably a good thing for them. I could go on with the drinking stories for such a long time. Such as the two barmaids we got by, one in London and one in Berry. By getting them drunk while they're meant to be working. But I'm going to have to stop there and say something about later on, otherwise what I'm going to have to talk to people about. There was, of course, Chris's stag do, where the drinking really took ugly head again. But in time-honoured tradition, if you weren't there, you ain't going to tell what's happened. So then we move on to more recent history. A few years ago, Chris met Lucy in that what can only be described as a palette of dreams Club Brasilia. To be fair, his timing should have been better. And I do have a suspicion at that time his liver was about to pack his bag and move out due to the years of blazing alcohol abuse. The two were suited from the word go. Their relationship has moved from strength to strength. Over the last few years, culminating today, where they publicly declared their love for each other and made this lifelong commitment in front of all of us. Chris had confided me prior to his proposal and left nothing to chance to get his girl, getting the perfect ring and planning everything down to the last detail, which proves how much Lucy does mean to him. Lucy, however, seems to have planned all of the wedding, as every time I ask Chris how's it going, up until the last couple of days, I've got the same stress-free response. But Lucy's got it all in hand. As far as I can tell, Chris's biggest contribution to the plan seems to have been ensuring there's some draft ale available tonight. For which I'm thankful. So I started saying about my first impressions of Chris. In essence, they were right. He's a shy and quiet lad. At the same time, he can be the life and soul of the party. He's a very kind and thoughtful man. In essence, a truly great friend. Lucy is very like Chris, many of the same qualities. I'm sure all of these qualities will make their marriage a long and happy one, and few people deserve it more. Tony, is there anything you'd like to add?
Just one more thing, a few words of wisdom. Having been married for 6 years, I feel I'm in a position to say this. First, you need to set the ground rules early, establish who is the boss, and then do everything that Lucy said. Right. One more time, guys. You can stand up.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask you all to stand and join us in wishing a toast to Chris and Lucy. Every happiness in their future together, I'll give you Chris and Lucy. Chris and Lucy. The only last thing, ladies and gentlemen, be served outside. Ladies help yourself and then after drinks. Thank you very much.